And welcome to League of Legends Valpo versus Carleton University NECC quarterfinals. My name is Henry Sweetie Kill Ninja, and I am joined with.
Adam once here once again. So as we kind of get into this quarterfinals series, Valpo versus Carleton, we are going to take a look at the first bans and picks for this first game on Valpo's, and we are going to see the Renekton, the Ambessa, and the Lilia, along with Carleton responding with the Gwen, the Talia, and a few seconds left. But we are going to see a hover over that Blitzcrank and a lock-in from the side of Carleton.
Nice early flex pick B1 for Valpo. This Wukong could go in the top lane or the jungle. Wukong has some nice counters, specifically against that Darius, who's so strong in the meta right now. But taking a look at Carleton, some of their strongest players are in that top lane, which is very scary, which is why we see those two target bans up there. And Bessa and Renekton are two characters you do not want to mess with.
And specifically seen in the OPs before this that we could see that the current top laner is the Masters player, while everyone else is between Diamond 4 to Diamond 1. Again, you usually see top lane getting picked around second phase, or if it's a flex pick, you see a potential flex being thrown in the first phase, specifically what Valpo likes to do. Sometimes you'll see like an Aurora pick, either B1 or R1, and then you'll kind of see that final lock in for mid or top around B4, R4. But we are going to see that Carleton is going to be responding with the Karthus Caitlyn. Karthus going to be a kind of an annoying character to deal with, especially if this game goes pretty long, as that Requiem is just going to be doing a lot of damage to every member of the side of Valpo. And additionally, with Caitlyn and her ability to do big damage to a specific target with her lock-on ultimate, could mean that we could see some potential picks being off of some of the squishier characters from Valpo's side.
I think Caitlyn has been a difficult character. So what I was just gonna say is I'm curious what they'll respond with. Caitlyn having a lot of that early lane prio and a lot of range can be very difficult to work around. But gonna respond with the Kog'Maw, so gonna give Valpo some scaling, and some nice range as well. So gonna go with the Enchanter Melio. Not only with the Enchanter with the Kog'Maw is really nice, but also actually has an ability that gives you extra range on those auto attacks. So I do anticipate it being a rough early game in the bot lane, depending on what this second pick is going to be from Carlton. But yeah,
And I was going to say, we're not going to see, for those of you who don't know, normally if you would see like a rough lane matchup, sometimes you could be seen into going into you could be doing a lane swap. But however, I think 2 patches ago, League knew of the power of those lane swaps and got rid of them basically entirely. So it's not going to be possible it's not going to be possible for our top laner to kind of rotate down, or for Dreadful specifically to rotate down and take and to handle that maybe more aggravating 2 versus 1. We are going to see on Carlton, we're going to see the pick by Lux here. Now, do you think that's a Lux support or a Lux mid?
I think support, which scares me a lot because there's going to be a ton of early agency, and those two champions synergize super well together. Just with the snare and the traps, just very very scary. Um, so it is not going to be a fun bot lane, at least in the laning phase. Um, up too much plates or CS lead. But going to be heading into the second round of bans here. Um, with that being said, it looks like Carrollton is thinking kind of the same thing I am, that Wukong is going to be a jungler. Getting out 2 AP top laners there. Kennen, nice top laner with some range that I'm not too sure Dreadful plays, but they want to cover their bases there. And Valpo just taking out some more top laners here. Wonder what do you think Dreadful is going to play here? Because I am highly anticipating he's just going to have to blind pick.
I'm seeing Jax on the board right now. I would say Ornn, but we already have that Wukong. So maybe that double engage not being bad again, Ornn would give the team a lot more scaling. Garen and Darius are both still options as well. And I do not believe the patch has gone in yet that the Darius jungle nerfs have seen.
My guess is Darius. And then off that, we're going to make sure we check the chat that was. Yeah, I guess we're gonna see a Ezreal. So that definitely shakes things up significantly. Um, guessing. Man, oh man. One of those three people, not Karthus, are going mid lane.
Yeah,
Um,
Karthus uses way too much mana in order to
I
be a
don't know.
mid
I mean,
laner.
I am absolutely bamboozled, and I think our team is too. I mean, no clue.
There's no response here, but this also does mean that this is a really, really squishy comp by the side of Carleton. And we are going to see the Ornn actually probably a relatively decent pick into specifically kind of this triple squishy matchup. As if Valpo is able, if Hui is able to get any of his E abilities landed onto someone, Ornn with a combo, and same with Wukong, I believe that we're going to see the Carlton's going to be really weak, as if, especially if any flashes are used. So I think if Valpo is going to be wanting to play this game effectively, it's going to be punishing any overextensions and making sure that those whenever those flashes are on cooldown, that Valpo is going to go all in on those because again, Caitlyn and Lux. Caitlyn has a tiny bit with that E, but again, not too much. Lux has your Q binding. Ezreal has his little blink, but you're still kind of looking for a lot of. You're not going to be able to have a lot of mobility with that. But we are going to see the final pick in the Garen here. Garen and the Ornn, not the worst, specifically because Ornn can W get that brittle proc, and can kind of stop and interrupt Garen a decent bit.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the Garen. Later on, it's gonna kind of suck. Just be a stat check champion can really just delete the ADC and make them irrelevant, or Hui or kind of whoever they want. But yeah, I mean that was a very interesting draft, for sure. What are your kind of thoughts on these three characters we see in the middle? Where do you think they're going for Carol?
Oh, well, as I said, the kind of the triple eight, the triple ADC or like kind of APC with Lux. I'm assuming it's going to be obvious Karthus jungle, Garen top. Probably going to be Caitlyn mid, Ezreal Lux.
Yeah, I think the Lux is support. Um, yeah, I think I agree with you there. Probably Caitlyn mid. But yeah, gonna be interesting regardless. But we are going to head to a short break with the spectator delay. But before we do so, want to give a shout out to Valpo Day, which is coming up. So April 9th, mark your calendars. But we would love your guys' support. But yeah, we're gonna play this quick ad and for Valpo Day.
Summoner's Rift.
And we are back, Valpo fans, with game one of this best of three series on Valpo versus Carleton. We are going to see here that we are going to have kind of a um, full five-man, just no one looking for anything too crazy. Neither one of these comps doing absolutely amazing in terms of a invade, but we are going to see that our predictions were slightly wrong. It's not gonna, or my prediction was slightly wrong. I apologize. That it's going to be the Caitlyn ADC, and it's going to be the Ezreal mid.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, that Ezreal mid is going to be really interesting. Into the Hui, I'm not expecting too much action. Um, but we did find out, got some intel that Ezreal was actually played in the game earlier in the season. So Ezreal mid, character you typically see in the bot lane. Not the worst solo laner ever. Does have a lot of range, has a bit of mobility with the E. But honestly, probably not going to see too much happen in this um, mid lane. And it kind of does make sense because they have enough AP just from kind of the solo AP Karthus and then the Lux a little bit, of course, too. But taking a look at the rune summoner spells, everything looking pretty traditional. The Ezreal mid gonna have the TP, Garen gonna have the ignite, and then as far as items, I mean just Dorans across the board. No calls in play. So when I play Garen, sometimes I'll mix in a call, especially if I'm going against the Ornn.
And we are going to. Oh, go ahead.
This bot lane's gonna be rough though. I mean we see it right now. So.
Yeah, Carlton kind of taking that early level advantage. Akimbo is going to start poking away at this Ezreal here, trying to do some damage. Law's going to take some hits. Is going to get hit with that E, but Milio is going to get the shield himself. And that tower shot is going to be big on the side of Valpo here, giving them some momentum and some lost resources on the side of Carleton for this first round. We are going to see that Dreadful is going to get that brittle stack onto that Garen. Relatively decent trade on both sides.
Just not able to get the grasp.
And does look like that Dreadful should have his W available relatively soon, but that wave is going to crash. Jakimbo is going to start finishing that mana flow band. Lux not being able to hit most of her combos and is going to be at around half mana, while Dietem and the Law are going to be resource, I would say, around resource positive going into this.
Yeah, the crazy thing about top lane is, although Ornn does really well in trades, the Garen passive is going to be always kind of make that Garen favored pretty much no matter what. And once you bring in kind of the mana resource as well, going to be tough. But Diadem getting some nice little sidesteps here has actually done pretty darn well in negating this early strength from that bot lane. Yeah, that Lux is starting to run a little bit low on mana. We'll have to get through that next wave crash.
And it does look like that there was going to be a potential start of a scuttle fight. Garen could take a lot of damage here. That proc.
Oh,
that
he's
brittle-
going in for it. Oh!
And a solo bolo starting of game one. Dreadful with the kill onto the Garen.
Oh, and this could be big too. We'll see if Ornn comes down. Got to be careful with the passive. Oh, and that's another solo. Well, you got the Hui too. But great start from Valpo. Going to pick up 2 kills on the Karthus and the Garen. Wow.
Nice early gold injection, and going to be 2/3 of the way to the feat of warfare. That first feat going to be really big for Valpo, just kind of helping them set the tempo of this first game. And for the start of this, we're going to be seeing that Valpo is knowing what they need to do in order to come away from this quarterfinals I believe this is the first quarterfinals game of any of the NECC teams so far.
Yep. So we're going to have Rocket League on Thursday. They'll be the 1 seed, and then both Overwatch games will be on Friday as well. And all 3 of those teams being undefeated. So Valpo here actually 3-4 in the regular season, secured a 8th seed, going against the 1 seed Carleton, who went 7-0 in the regular season. And last time we streamed League of Legends, we thought it was going to be our last time streaming League of Legends with this team, but the long shot miracle actually occurred, and we had about less than a 10% chance of making playoffs, and somehow, some way, Valpo was given a second lease on life, and so far they're making the most of it.
You need to be, especially with this now truly being we are now in a win or lose territory.
Yep.
Valpo
Now it is
playing
100%.
at the best of their abilities.
Now it's 100%. If you win, you move on. If you lose, you're out. Going back to the feats, that kill on Wukong is going to be really nice for the objectives. Oh, but we do see a potential fight breaking out here. We do have Karthus looking for the lane gank. Will not be spotted out. The Wukong sitting in try. I think that, yeah, this wave isn't going to bounce though. The Caitlyn's still auto attacking, so both junglers will likely not end up fighting here. Although the Karthus is wasting quite a bit of time here, so that is nice for Valpo. But like I was talking about, the other feats are going to be that first turret and then those first 3 objectives. That kill is not only going to be nice for the feats of warfare, but also to have some nice presence on these objectives. But we will see that bot prio move up and secure that first objective, and it's going to be tough in the top lane to have prio too. And the scary thing about these feats is you got to think with these lanes that first tower is going to go to the side of Carleton. I mean, just with the Lux Caitlyn, I'd be shocked if the first tower isn't down in the bot lane. And if not, I mean, Garen should theoretically do some of that too. But we have Hui moving up here. Flash will be committed. Nice moves by the Garen, but is forced to use the flash.
Going to make, and with that pressure given by Ornn, it does look like Ornn need to be careful here. Dreadful is gonna just have to kind of is gonna have to fight for kind of scraps of minions right now. Still has enough health that he should be able to get it just fine, as long as he's not gonna hit that flower.
I would have hit that. Got to be really careful because you also don't want the wave to freeze. But it looks like that E worked through some of it. So they are going to trade those first objectives. So Valpo going to pick up the 3 grubs. Fortunately, Valpo going to have to back off here, and this is going to be a lot of plates for the bot lane. Oh, and that Comet's going to do it. Caught in the shop.
But we are also going to see that Karthus is gonna bring out the Requiem here, and he has Dark Harvest. So that is actually not going to be able to proc a soul on anyone, but is going to do a lot of damage towards this tower. And you were 100% right that we are going to see that we are probably going to see the feat of tower. I always forget the official name of it.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate there, was kind of just caught looking at the shop. Is going to pick up that pickaxe and bow. What is it?
Recurve bow.
Curve bow. Um, but yeah, and I mean, taking a look at the gold lead, Valpo up 2-1 in kills, but between those plates and the CS lead, going to be favoring Carleton, have about a 18 CS lead in the top lane and then about 20 in the bot lane. And those 4 plates in the bot lane are pretty big. So.
And specifically, we are going to see that that Carleton is going to be up 1,200 gold here, as just with that extra CS and that extra turret plate, and specifically as you just said earlier, being down around 20 CS, we're going to see
Garen's going to get caught out here. We have Hui moving up to the top lane, and this Garen is as good as gone. We'll see what he ends up doing. Not going to be able to get the execute here. And we'll see who gets this kill. Does miss the ultimate. Looks like they're just going to give it to Hui, and that is going to be the feat of warfare over to Valpo.
Oh, and DNM able to slightly dodge that Caitlyn E. So not gonna get combo, but there are both of those ultimates are online. Karthus' ultimate at half. We are gonna have to see that we are gonna see the commitment by Kog'Maw here. Ezreal going to take Ezreal going to take some damage, but looks like he is going to be able to get the plating here. Jakimbo trying to keep up some pressure on him and is going to do a relatively successful job.
Yeah, scary thing for Valpo here is a barrier and flash down for Kog'Maw, and with the low health is just going to have to back off with the threat of the Caitlyn ult and the Karthus ult, which should be up soon. Well, it's still got a while, but you know, the players in game, they might not 100% be able to track that. So this Kog'Maw is going to be a bit delayed, but once again, Valpo does have a stronger scaling team, in my opinion. Karthus and Ezreal scale really well. Garen scales pretty well. But against Ornn and Kog'Maw, that's tough. What do you think? I think it's favored of Valpo in the late game. I think they have a slight edge, but I could see it being favored to Carleton too. I guess it depends on your take.
I was gonna say I think I would have to say Valpo just because of that, but I think we're gonna have to stop those commentaries for a second as we're gonna have a team fight that's gonna be breaking out in the jungle here.
Aaron with flash down.
And we are gonna see that Karthus is going to fall here, but Valpo needs to be careful as Karthus' passive is going to mean that a lot of damage can still be going on right now. Hui able to get that double kill. Dreadful is going to be able to escape, and that is going to be 2 for 1 on the side of Valpo. Super Bear is going to lose his life in that encounter, but again, being a net positive for the side of Valpo there. Good play by them.
They're gonna have to give first turret here. Like I said, no shocker. I mean, Caitlyn Lux lane. It's unfortunate.
It's extremely impressive.
Gonna go down to the objectives here. And speaking of the feat of objectives, once again, I have no idea what the names are. Both objectives coming up now. We will have, it looks like Carleton are moving up to the scrubs. They have Karthus positioning there, moving Caitlyn to this mid lane. Also going to have a Lux here. So we could see a big fight break out, but Carleton currently has the numbers advantage.
And Jakimbo is going to be around 35% here, and it does look like that Valpo just not in much of a position to be able to contest these Void Grubs here. Which does mean that Valpo is going to need to get the dragon here, in order to prevent feats from going by the side of Carleton.
Yeah, I will say feats aren't quite as strong as they were on release, but still strong. And it looks like Valpo's starting up this dragon. It doesn't look like we'll get a contest. Maybe a late contest, depending on where this Karthus paths. Looks like he's going to the Wolves though, so. Going to give that objectives, and we're going to be tied up 2-2 in objectives. Oh, never mind. I see them working their way down there with that Lux ult. You know, could look for a steal. Oh, okay, just get it.
Nice job on the side of Valpo, and we are going to have an Infernal Soul up, which does.
You got to remember, game 2.
Game 2. Oh yes,
guess the soul.
To guess the soul. But as we take a look kind of at this, as we take a look at this gold distribution here, Super Bear is going to get caught by the Lux here, going to do a lot of damage. Karthus is going to be nearby. Super Bear is going to have to commit flash here. Caitlyn not in range to use her ultimate, and Karthus with Requiem available in about, I'd have to guess, 20 seconds. Big damage by Jakimbo there onto Lux, and a big amount of damage going off. Heal being used, Flash also being used onto Lux there. Lux is going to survive, but she did have to use, they had to use everything in order to get that off. Caitlyn going to get hit by that EQ, or EW, my bad. And just some more damage going off. Jakimbo kind of trying to retake control of this lane and hitting Lux with that EE.
Yeah, as far as gold distribution, you see top lane down 700 for Valpo. And then bot and support down 1,000, and that's where that 3K gold lead is coming from. We're 2.5, I guess, but it's really just from those CS and plates, not even kills, because Valpo is up 3 kills, but they're down almost 3K gold. But Carleton farming well, and just getting a lot of those plates based off these early lane brow champions.
And we are going to see that Atakan is going to be spawning topside Hui, trying to slow down the breakage of that ward. Not going to be able to find not going to be able to find that that EQ landing there. And Hui is going to just have to push this up as Ezreal does move. Ezreal does move to the bot lane, kind of giving them a more of a 1v1 opportunity here.
And we see why Karthus is up in CS. He's just able to do 2 camps at once, like the whole time. Very, very fast farmer, and with that first item completed, is not going to be as mana starved anymore. But 15 minutes in, how do you think the prospects are looking for Valpo, and what do you think Valpo needs to look for next?
I was going to say, right now you have 2 minutes. There is no reason why anytime that Lux is above the mid position any lane, why she should not just instantly get demolished. She doesn't have flash up, she has her binding, but even then, she's so vulnerable to a gank that she just needs to die. But it looks like a little bit less about that. We're gonna see that the Requiem is gonna go down. Super is gonna try to get out. We're gonna see that the R is going to be used by Hui. Huge damage coming off onto the side of Valpo here. Not gonna be able to find anything specifically. Dreadful is gonna have to give up that topside turret. The Law gonna be hidden in that tri-brush. Don't know if Carleton does have vision. Jakimbo is gonna get huge damage, or not huge damage, but some decent damage onto Ezreal here. Jakimbo needing to be careful. We are gonna see though that Saris is going to proc. Needing to be careful now as he does not have a shield up for the next 90 seconds, which does mean that that is not available for this Rift Herald fight, which I do believe that we're going to see a pretty heavy contention for, as this will determine the direction of feats.
We'll say the interesting thing about that kind of side lane we're going to see for a while now, that Hui Ezreal, is it doesn't really matter who has the gold lead and more items, because at the end of the day, they're both so heavy skill shot champions that you need to hit those abilities to actually convert on any damage. But we will see the Rift Herald started, and going to be that third feat, and it looks like Carleton is going to secure the feats.
Oh, we are going to see.
He's committed for this.
He's
Ezreal
committing a lot of resources
available
for this.
Does he? Oh, he's got a flash. Oh, and another kill for the Ornn. And Dreadful, no need for the Darius. He has a shutdown on Ornn now.
That's what you like to see, Valpo fans. Your solo bolos on Dreadful. And again, Ornn always be seen as that tank champion, but always a lot more damage than I think people were respecting. And I think that we could see that Carlson thought the same way, that you're going to be able to deal with it.
Ornn is balanced, but like, I don't truly know why he's balanced. He trades really well. He's decently oppressive in lane. And he's like one of the better, if not best, scaling champions in the game. Like definitely in the top 10, one of the best like top 3 top lane scalers. I don't understand how he's balanced, but anyways, Valpo going to be up 4 kills now. Still down 3k gold, just coming from these turrets essentially, and some of the CS. But going to have a big objective coming up here. Infernal Drag is up.
We are going to see that Hui is going to be responding, or that Jakimbo is going to be responding towards this top lane here.
Now, Hui does have TP and Garen doesn't, so we're going to see a 5v4 numbers advantage for Valpo in this fight. With the Dragon halfway down, we'll see if Carleton decides to commit. I would advise they back off in this 5v4. Valpo has the numbers, but a lot of poke going off, and a huge hit by Jakimbo there. We are going to get the Dragon. Garen is going to pick up that top tier 2 turret.
Valpo need to be careful to not let Garen push this into a tier 3 here, and we are going to see that Valpo is going to push this out. DNM is going to get caught here, going to get a lot of damage.
Oh! What a good teammate there, although Kog'Maw did have barrier, so it may be unnecessary.
Oh,
and now they're going to give up tier 1 too, so on that Dragon, they're able to do a lot of damage there and get a lot of poke off, and it didn't necessarily lead into a Dragon for Carleton, but it did lead into 2 more turrets on top of the one they already gave up, and a couple kills there. So that's going to be unfortunate for Valpo. Valpo going to be up a Dragon, up 3 kills, but ultimately going to be down 6k gold. And when it comes down to it, the gold is the most important number up there on the scoreboard.
But I'll say, even while that is the case, we are going to see that the Ornn is going to hit level 13, which does mean that Masterwork item for him is online. There you go, Valpo fans. I said it.
Yep.
And what that just means that level 14 onwards, we're going to start seeing that. We're going to start seeing the already pretty even fights.
All that value from the Ornn items, not calculated in the gold.
And I don't know. I'm not the gold math expert. I just watch the funny videos that tell me how gold efficient items are. But I would have to assume that it's at least 600 to 700 gold, maybe probably a little bit more per masterwork item.
Now, hate to be the bearer of bad news and kind of the pessimist here. Gold value for the feats boots. Probably about 600-700.
No. We can pretend the feats boots don't exist in this game. I know we can't.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the 2 items completed yet, so they're not actually online for anyone. But neither are all the Ornn items, so...
Hey, there's 1 Ornn item and there's 0 masterwork boot, or 0 boots.
Yeah, I hate to be that guy. It's really coming down right now just to those plates and CS lead. And at this point, I mean all the turrets. So Valpo's still very, very much going to be in these team fights, though. With that being said, so they're going to need not necessarily the stars to align, but they're going to have to get some vision, work their way in, and find either a big Wukong ult, a big Ornn ult, and Kog'Maw needs to be able to stay safe in these fights. Eventually, when Diadem hits that 2-3 items. But yeah, they are a very strong team fighting team, so that is kind of the silver lining for Valpo. But I'm not feeling too great about this one. It's kind of disappointing because everything we've watched in this game has felt positive towards Valpo, but it's really just like the last hit in the minions and the prio that leads to the turret damage and towers.
It's been doing a really good on kind of everything else but like the most ultimate of basic mechanics.
Yeah. And when you're really good at the game, I mean, that can be what separates players a lot of times, is how good are you at last hitting minions, trading in lane, just kind of getting the most out of that laning phase. Regardless, like I said, a lot of big objectives coming up minute for that soul point for Valpo. Otacon is up, Baron in 3 minutes, and Valpo is what I would say is more favored in these team fights. They just got to be very careful of all this poking that can happen.
And I was going to say I think the other thing that we'll need to see there, even though the Dreadful's gotten some amazing solo bolos, we've been seeing that ult being used against one person, while definitely strong. Definitely Carlton knowing that when that ult is not available, and being able to punish that.
With
we are going to
on reset right now. They have Kog'Maw and Hui backing, and I don't think they know.
I don't think they know either, but the fact that everyone's off vision right now, Valpo should be at least kind of suspicious that this outcome is being taken.
And talk about something that doesn't show up on the gold graph. That is one of them,
Otacon fault. It is the false life Otacon.
which is worse,
Yeah.
arguably,
I
slightly worse.
I think it's just overall like it's good for 90 seconds. But even because now there's the 15-second delay of the stasis, which does mean that there's only one member of Carlton that if they were to die at a
Ooh,
team fight,
and
that
I
they're
love
able to
this
die.
play by Valpo, playing cross map here. Gonna have Ornn just soaking up this solo XP. But it looks like Carleton is picking up on it because they're just gonna send 3 players mid. They've recognized that Valpo is going to give the dragon, so they're only committing 1 to it. Oh, and that will be a lot of damage. Ezreal is gonna E forward.
Oh, we are going to see the flash that'll come out by Lux. That tier 2 is going to get broken. What I would love to see from Valpo, you asked me earlier the thing I want to see. I want to see Valpo getting more flowers and more embers. I don't know why, but it seems like that for a while it's been relatively hard for them to get it. We are going to see that the Ornn is going to find the all on Caitlyn, not going to be able to do much more than that. Kog'Maw doing big damage and a
big
double
knockup.
knockup by Ornn. That withdraw is going to occur. Dreadful being low, but again, you're Ornn. You don't care about being low. You're going to proc that second withdraw. Super are going to be extremely low. We're going to see that the Caitlyn's going to try to flash, and we're going to see that the Requiem is going to come out, probably find at least 1 kill. Dreadful trying to escape, but not going to be able to. And that is going to be partial net negative. Again, the false life is not worth as much, but we are going to see a few more petals come into the side of Valpo. Caitlyn is going to be low here. If Wei is able to land a combo, that is going to be the end of the false life, and there we go. Jakimbo going to get a few more flowers for that team, get a tiny bit more XP, and get a little bit more gold. Obviously, you would have preferred that 350 gold shutdown, but you're going to take what you can get here.
Yeah, I was a bit overly excited until I forgot about the false life up. But you know, they do stop the push, get some gold, get some flowers. But Baron is going to be up, and Carleton have their sights set on it. They got some good vision control side as they're going to be able to see Valpo walking to the entrance here. And Wukong did use W, going to be a bit far up by himself. Got to be careful here. Okay, he's got the team with him now, and they are looking for a little bush camp here. They're going to find Diadem in the front line with the Garen. Luckily, their team was backed off, so they couldn't follow up too much on it. Some items being built.
And Dreadful starting to show why Ornn's going to be so scary as he just took some damage to the face and not going to be able to find anything. We are going to see the Masterwork item is going to be available to Hui here. And I do believe... Oh, and we are going to see the second Masterwork item go to Kog'Maw here.
Yep.
I guess with that Rudon's Hurricane being built, that is going to provide... I then obviously assume that we're going to see Super Bear with it next. We do see that the Ornn ult is available here, but not a really amazing position for it to be used right now.
For long fights will probably be in favor to Carleton just because of the poke they can get off of. Valpo's done a good job of not getting poked out too much yet. Lux ult, Diadem just able to sidestep it. That could have been bad.
As I say, I think it was maybe that Milio E or something to give him that tiny bit of movement. I think that was the difference. We are going to see though that Hui is going to be declaring that he wants to back here in an attempt for mana.
We do see Karthus farming during this time, and Valpo doesn't know that because they don't have vision. So Carleton doesn't necessarily want to fight right now, but Valpo doesn't know that. And they do have Garen looking for a flank here potentially, or maybe just taking Raptors.
I think it was maybe just taking Raptors. We are going to see though that that ultimate is going to not be available for Ezreal. And I was about to say Lux should still not have her ultimate, but Lux's ultimate comes back on a relatively surprising cooldown. Garen is going to be available for that flank here. Valpo needing to be careful.
Kind of have just been A-ramming for about 2 or 3 minutes here. Carleton have picked up a couple camps and have I don't know if A-ramming is benefiting us or them, but it's something. Oh, but we are going to see Baron get started right off these backs, so Carleton did get their backs off first. So, unfortunately, okay, I was going to say Director Cam not showing us the Baron health, but we're going to see it now. Hui's going to be a bit far away. We're going to have the Ornn all come through. Is going to get a knock-up on 2 or 3. And Carleton just trying to disengage here. That Karthus wall is going to be big, and that flash knock-up not going to land. Carleton is able to get out scot-free.
Valpo is just gonna kind of have to eat the fact that they didn't really get anything off of this. At least try to break this tier 1 here. Preferably trying to give a little bit more pressure here, especially we're going to see that the Law is going to go for a vision setup, which is desperately needed.
Back up in 25.
We're going to see that we are going to see those objective bounties are still up on the side of Valpo here. It did feel weird when they were down around 5k gold that they weren't up yet. I know sometimes the math on those can be a little weird. Super going to be taking a decent bit of damage, mainly more of his clone more than anything. Garen is going to be available for a flank here. Valpo needing to be careful, as it does look like that they are going to attempt to ARAM it with a huge wave being pushed in the bot side here. Valpo probably wanting to send one member to go collect that XP, but I don't know if you can do that and then also win a 4v4.
Roll still down here, so going to be tough, but able to find a 2-man knockup, and that's going to be huge engage. Nice kill by Jakimbo. Going to find that double kill, and this should lead into a dragon. That was absolutely massive. I feel like that did not get the reaction it deserved by me. I saw you pop off a bit, but Jakimbo, absolutely massive 6-0-1. We will see Wukong stays alive.
Great to see. Great to see if you're a Valpo fan, because that does mean that 3 kills did go for 3 kills for none.
Oh, I don't know how he lived that.
And he's still alive. Jungle healing. It has to be the jungle healing. Jakimbo needing to be careful here as there is the Garen. It does look like that Jakimbo is just going to be playing loop-de-loop. Waiting for
Garen
looks
does
like
have flash. Okay.
but it does look like trying not to use it. Oh, Valpo trying not to let this Ezreal get the free dragon. It does look like that they are going to here. I'm probably not expecting
it.
Yeah, probably not expecting Carleton to commit just the Ezreal to that dragon.
Yeah, so the big thing with that fight was it was going to allow him to get soul point and kind of further along this game. Now it is, very nice to have that goal to get some of those shutdowns and further get this way ahead, but unfortunately the dragon did go up to Carleton.
And with that being said, we are going to see we need Dreadful to hit 16 here. Giving Super Bear even more opportunities to do damage is just going to be really nice. We are going to see though that vision is going to start being set up by the Law here. Lux is going to try to negate some of that. And Baron buff is going to be available for the next 3 seconds. But Lux is going to be Valpo's jungle, specifically that top side jungle, is going to be relatively lit up. We are going to see that the Ornalt is going to catch the Caitlyn. We are going to see the flash come out. We are going to see the Lux also flash. Not going to be able to find too much as there's not a flank going to be able to occur right now.
That's a big ult down. I think Valpo needed to go for that with the Garen, just pushing in the spot lane, and not much Wake can do other than clear the wave here against the Garen. And this Garen is has a ton of farm, almost at 300 now, and just going to see a massive stat check here. He's going to find the kill just on the Melio, but going to trade it back, and that's actually going to be a net win for Valpo. Support for top laner, but we do see a lot of poke coming through in the mid lane with the Karthus ult, and that should not kill anybody.
We're gonna see that Jakimbo is gonna be able to throw down that WW there, and gonna be doing a lot of work. This game is slowly starting to slip away from Valpo here, but again, I will say a game is never over until the Nexus is broken. I've played way too many ranked games to know that I could be on the losing streak, and one bad play by the enemy team means that the enemy team wins, especially with 40 and 50-second respawn timers. Now, is it likely? Maybe not, but holding out hope, and you play your best the whole way, because you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't.
Yeah, I still think Valpo wins team fights. Unfortunately, Karthus is going to start working towards that 4th item, which is going to be scary. I mean, this game is a bit decelerated from that a lot of ARAM and working around objectives, so not as high level or high gold income as you would expect at a post 30-minute game. But this next dragon, is going to be Soul for Carleton or Soul Point for Valpo. So in 2 minutes, we should see a big fight. Shot able to find the snare. With 3 inhibitors down, that's going to be tough as Super Bear is going to be down for 45 seconds.
As we are going to see that Garen is going to try to do something onto Ornn here, but Milio going to be there just kind of to slow Milio to slow it down. Again, Valpo's slowing this down. Oh, Diadem getting some good damage onto that Lux. That Lux going to be forced to have to disengage slightly. Oh, and there's a huge amount of damage. Diadem is going to be able to escape that. We are going to see the Zhonya's is going to get popped. We are going to see the barrier does have to come up from the side of Diadem, so he does not die from that. Caitlyn all one turret down, and I do believe that this Requiem is going to find at least one member of Valpo, if not both. Hwei getting rooted, a lot of damage going onto that Nexus, but that double kill going to be huge here. Nexus is almost there, and Karthus is going to be able to finalize that Nexus, and the game 1 is going to fall to Carleton, making this 0-1 in this best of 3 series.
Not too often you see the team ahead in kills losing the game. But kind of, what are your thoughts on game 1, and what do you think Valpo needs to switch up here in game 2?
I definitely, what we were kind of saying before, Valpo had absolutely amazing early game in terms of kills and kill pressure. I definitely think that tightening up those mechanics, and I think something that got away, I would have liked to be able to see it during the camps, is that flower collection. I know it's not necessarily the hugest thing on its own, but I could swear that I saw Valpo walk by at least 10 flowers, and if Carleton's able to get them, especially when you're playing a character like Ornn, you need that XP, you need that adaptive force just to do so much more damage, and just giving away basically free stats is not something that Valpo can afford to do in this quarterfinal series.
Well, anyways, we will be right back in about 5 or 10 minutes with game 2, so we will see you all then. And welcome back to Game 2 of Valpo versus Carleton University NECC quarterfinals. Got Valpo taking the red side here, so loser gets picked. We opt for red side, and we are going to ban the Caitlyn. This is exactly what I wanted to see from Valpo. And Valpo actually going to ban the Wukong as well, which had some success in Game 1. But yeah, taking a look at the draft, what are your initial thoughts, Monsieur?
Definitely, just again continue to see the kind of continue even of Carlton's on those three bands. Shikimba's Talia does tend to be pretty disgusting at times. The Gwen again, really good tank shredder. The Law and Blitzcrank again, Blitzcrank being good at literally every stage of the game from minute 1 to minute 4 or minute 45, 59. So good bands on both sides. Jin as a Jin is the B one, kind of interesting to see here. Jin and Karma. I don't think we're gonna see as craziness of like a Jin mid Xin top. Um, but I believe that with Karma's changes, Karma mid is kind of a forgotten way to play at this point. So I do believe it'll be that Karma Jin.
That would
Um,
have to be the widest champ pool if to Karma. ADC champ in the mid lane to a support champ in the mid lane. I'd be shocked, but once again, it is viable in the mid lane, theoretically. More viable than Ezreal. Um, but for Valpo here, probably going to pick up a support. I would like to see something engagey, something like a Rel would be perfect. Has some frontline, has some engage. I was thinking Nautilus, but Rel actually makes a lot more sense because the law.
and with another kind of it looks like another round of relative comfort picks, at least from this first half. I do believe that we are going to see a poppy ban by Valpo, either this ban or the final one, just because that canceling into Rel into Jarvan the 4 poppy just kind of makes that unplayable, especially with all those dashes. But we are going to see the Aatrox ban.
So I really want to see a R5 counterpick top lane for Valpo, and then I'd like to see a Syndra or Aurora mid would be pretty cool. Not sure if Aurora's in meta right now. Could also maybe even see like a even like a Cassiopeia, Ari. Okay, I'm starting to spread too much to be like actually predicting. My actual prediction is going to be
A lot of options on the
Ari.
Ari.
That's my
Darn,
actual prediction.
darn, I was going to steal Ari. Um,
What was the first
honest.
champ I said? Oh,
That was your
Syndra.
set. Yeah, you said
Syndra.
Syndra. I'm between Syndra or Ori. I think I'm gonna say
I wouldn't.
Syndra.
I wouldn't love to see an Ori.
I'm gonna lock in Syndra. Also, we are gonna have to remember what dragon to call out this time. It's 18 seconds, and it is the Syndra here.
Yeah, the reason Syndra was the first champ I said. I actually thought it was gonna get banned though, but Carleton sticking with the exact same bands, and they're gonna go with the Assassin Fizz. That would be once again an interesting champ. Does pretty darn well into Syndra. I mean, this mid laner for Carleton's got a large bag. This dude's got a bag and a half for sure.
Oh, and all right, okay.
And that could actually mean the Karma going mid. Although I expect to see Lux mid.
I would expect to see.
Actually, wait, no. I expect to see Lux support.
So we're gonna
And
see a Karma
the reason why is because of the Jin. Once again, another crazy synergy bot lane.
between Jin and Karma.
No, Jin and Lux.
Oh, okay.
I think we're gonna see Karma mid. When the
Ooh.
Mbessa. Oh, yeah, that was something we banned in place of Caitlyn. That I guess in place of Wukong either. Now what I'm thinking is some. I was gonna say Darius, but I didn't let it rip. But I would love to see Darius here. Doesn't do insanely well in Mbessa, does relatively well in Mbessa. But they're gonna have a lot of movement speed, a lot of lockdown, with that Sivril, with that Rel engage, the J4 engage. So I like to see the Darius, and there's not too much poke and peel for these supports as well. So will be interesting. Any kind of final thoughts on this draft?
I definitely think I think that as we're gonna go in, seeing that space is gonna be more important. More important, especially with that Mbessa. I'm not going to be able to go behind enemy. If she doesn't have anyone to go behind, that's not. It's going to be a lot harder for her to get in. That Syndra is going to be able to kind of be a really good disengage tool, just to kind of push Mbessa or Xin off. But other than that, it's going to be a good team comp. It's going to be a good game. And we will catch you in a few minutes with game 2 of this best of 3 series, Valpo versus Carleton University.
And we are back. Game 2 of this best of 3 series, Valpo versus Carleton University.
Summoner's Rift.
Heading into Summoner's Rift here.
30 seconds until minions
So far,
spawn.
just going to see a 5-point. Not going to see any action level 1 once again. Sorry, updating the score here. We will be back just shortly. But taking a look at these lane matchups, going to actually have Lux in the mid lane and Karma support. So once again, the Jin Karma having some synergy, not quite as volatile as the Jin Lux. But yeah, I do think Valpo has more scale in this game, like definitely. With that being said, very, very strong mid game for Carleton.
And you keep me on my toes, Mr. Speedy Kill Ninja, telling me that we were gonna potentially see an engaged double kill on Rel.
I told you she did the flash pokey thing. Why would that be the first ability they upgraded level 1? Especially on Invade.
I don't play support. I just rel my rels whenever I play the game do nothing, and then the rels that the enemy team plays are the second coming of Faker or any pro support player. I don't want to say names because I know that people can get mad if I don't say their favorite.
This bot lane should be much easier for Valpo with that Caitlyn banned out, so should have a much easier time. Also, Kog'Maw is just a little bit more susceptible than Sivir because Sivir does have that spell shield. And also going to have TP, so not going to miss out nearly as much CS or have to worry about giving up too much plates with that TP. Are going to give up the barrier, but once again have spell shield. In the top lane, that I'm basically going to be looking for some quick trades with the shields and dashes, where Darius is going to be looking for some more of those long-winded trades with that Conquer, with that passive lead. But looking at the rest of the summoner spells and runes, nothing too crazy. Are going to have that first strike on Lux, which is going to have a bit more of a burst option if she can get first contact and just a little bit more gold. Hook does miss by Darius there. And in the mid lane, not going to see too much action, just some poking back and forth. Probably a lot of farming, almost similar to what we had in the first game.
It's going to keep it slow. We are going to see that Valpo is going to be slightly weaker. We are going to see, though, that root is going to connect. Spell Shield going to be just a few milliseconds too late.
And looking at the jungle, we actually see Valpo pathing top lane, and I really like this by Valpo. They want to play into their lane matchups, um, while Carleton is pathing to bot lane. So could be scary as Carleton does have a stacked wave right now and could look for a dive bot, but Dreadful trying to get some damage down on this Mbessa with the jungle pathing. But yeah, not going to meet at the Scuttle Crabs again. Oh, maybe going in. Is out in the area though.
Some big damage. Valpo needing to be careful as Zinshao is going to be looking for something, and Valpo is just kind of forced to back off here. Gonna lose a decent bit of that wave, but you're not training first blood. But you're gonna see that Karma did pop flash, or not flash, heal to try to catch up, but was not gonna be able to.
And we see Super Bear just going in the top side for Carleton, just getting some vision there. Scouting out some of the camps. Do get the TP back to lane, so just gonna miss out on one wave of XP and CS. But we have Zinzao still down here, and they are looking not dive this. There's no way.
We are gonna see the TP come out by Lux to get back to lane here.
He's gonna pick up a Gromp, so a little counter jungle in action. You did see that Zinzao little spear over the wall, so gave him a little bit of intel. But so far, Valpo is up about 50 gold. Oh, maybe like 100 gold. But yeah, not too much action early, and I think this is exactly what Valpo wants. We are going to see a gank here. Superbird coming in, is going to find the flag and drag Syndra with this stun. Going to find some nice damage, but Karma is there.
It looks like Karma's going to attempt to get the chains, but not going to be able to do much here. It would have been, I think Valpo would have loved to see the flash get committed by the Lux here, but unfortunately, Lux was confident in her teammates, and so that you're not going to be able to see. We're not going to be able to see that summoner spell be offline for this first round of objectives here. Valpo needing to be careful now, as Zinzao is counter jungling right now, trying to get some extra. But we see the Law though coming in here. We are going to see the flash come out by Karma. It is going to hit that root. Oh, and the tail end of that Lux Q is going to hit. It is a 3v3, but it does look like that Lux is going to back because Lux is out of mana.
Yeah, so with this, the Grubs up and the Dragon up, we'll see what the teams end up playing for. Earl does go back to bot lane here.
And it does look like that Super Bear is going to start taking start taking Void Grubs, needing to be careful right now as we do see that Karma is not showing.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing. Karma off reset, actually heading up to these Grubs. So we'll see if Super Bear is able to finish him first. Oh, but Dreadful's got to be careful here. I don't think he realizes how many people are up here in the top lane. He might be stuck with that freeze. But Super Bear able to get out, and I believe they claimed 2 Grubs there, as the Director Cam only gave us about 0.2 seconds of play there.
And we are going to see, though, that is, in fact, speaking of, you are correct here, as we are going to see that it is going to go 2-1, which does mean that the feat of objectives is not going to get any progress from these Void Grubs, as you do need to get all 3 in order for that feat to start getting any progress done. A good combo by the Law and Diadem. The Law being able to use that shield to try to not take as much damage here. And now that Super is able to kind of reset, I do believe that we are going to see, though, that bot lane is going to get priority here. And could be looking to take a, could be looking to go on Dragon here.
Oh, and that's a big commit there. Going to have the 6 stacks. And the ult's going to do it, and that's going to be first blood for Dreadful. Very, very strong play there. I mean, just so confident in his ability. Had the 4 stacks, decided to go for that Q flash, and able to find the execute. Oh my goodness, I love that.
And we're gonna see that the was a flash trade, but that first blood gonna be a huge gold injection into the side of Dreadful here. CS gonna be a lot more forgiving in most of these lanes here. We're gonna see that bot lane is gonna be down around 20. But overall, Valpo doing a little bit better in terms of controlling that CS difference, and I do believe that with this that with this bot lane pressure that we are going to see that Valpo is going to be able to get first dragon here, which is going to be really good for them as they start making progress on the feat of objectives.
Yeah, off to a great start for Valpo here. Have the gold lead, have a grub advantage, able to get the dragon, and able to find first blood. So not too much action, but the action we have seen, Valpo favored. But I think for real this time, because like you mentioned, the CS difference is not too much at all, just a bit in the bot lane. Looks like that's a little bit of a freeze going. Okay, we do see Karma up here and Lux coming as well. Dreadful is already half health. I have to try and get these stacks going, trying to get a little damage before this dive, but it's not going to be good. Yu is able to find a heal. Doesn't have ult
We are
available.
going to see though.
Super Bear able to pick one up with the ult. Okay, and they trade it back. And Dreadful did not miss much of that wave. Is going to miss the upcoming wave. Catastrophe inverted. Most part.
I agree for now. Super needing to be careful here though, as it does look like there is just not going to be much. It does look like that Zin is just going to catch that. Not Zin. My apologies. Jarvan the Fourth is going to catch that wave here. Jakimo is going to crack that turret. Is going to take a turret shot in the process. Super Bear will lose his red buff. But was able to kind of trade and get a few extra waves worth. We are going to see Super Bear is.
No, he's
just going to be staying there for a really long period of time. The Valpo, I don't think Super Bear was expecting to see that. And kind of just unfortunate because even if he took a few extra seconds, I don't think that they would have stayed much longer.
Another interesting thing about this Vale matchup, the Jhin actually did pick up Cole. Seeing the Lux going to have a shutdown now, and we are one kill off the feet of Warfare. Unfortunately, that stun does miss, so Valpo not going to commit to that one. But next kill, going to be big for the feats. And Valpo is up 1-0 in that objective count. No one has had too much progress on the Dragon. First kill is going to matter a lot here. Just able to sidestep that, but this ult's going to be scary. Sivir should have Spell Shield available. Lux doing a lot of damage, not able to find the kill.
Oh!
W is going to come across. Flash Q.
Oh!
Doesn't have the shield to come through. Okay, well I guess Feet of Warfare was going to go regardless.
Relatively tragic to see. Valpo's so close to being able to get that route to get that Jhin, and if that Jhin was gone, they would have probably been able to do a lot more damage to that tower. Good fight so far. Ooh, a lot of damage. Maybe see Jakimbo flash for that ultimate, and we are going to get that shutdown as well. Ambessa is going to do some big damage towards that turret. It does look like that that Valpo is going to give these Void Grubs to Carleton here. Jakimbo just in no position to kind of no full position to kind of fight, but prove me wrong, Valpo, as we are going to see that a lot of damage is going to go off, and because it's a Karma support, not a Karma mid, that not a lot of damage is going to be able to be done.
Valpo down about 800 gold here. And Feats is starting to turn here a bit as Carleton has some plate advantage, has some turret damage advantage, and now has an objective, so tied up at 1-1. What do you think are next steps for Valpo in this game? What do they need to focus on here?
I think we're going to definitely see Dragon. Valpo needs to get the second Dragon here. And if they're able to, that's going to be a decent momentum swing, just because there are no 5 or 6 Void Grubs up, so Void Grubs are severely limited in the amount of. They're still helpful to both sides, don't get me wrong, but the difference between 4 and 5 is pretty big, and an even bigger difference between 5 and 6. And so I think that if Valpo's able to get these first 2 dragons up, that's going to be big for them. Also, we have 47 seconds before the dragon spawns. What is your guess as to what the soul is going to be? It can't be Cloud and it can't be Ocean.
Infernal.
Gonna see another Infernal?
Yep.
I'm gonna give it Mountain.
Didn't we see 2 Infernal Souls in the last series we casted?
I believe against Vanderbilt we also saw that. So I wouldn't be surprised. Super Bear is gonna have to flag to get out of there. Going to be kind of scary. Dreadful taking a lot of damage here. He does only have one stack up on him, Best. I don't know if he has the health to be able to do too much. Oh, Karma taking a huge amount of damage here. We're going to see the Xin Zhao is going to ult, going to try to smite Jakimbo, trying to find him, not going to be able to. Rel is going to be nearby. Oh, and that ult is going to do a lot of damage, but not going to be able to find either member. Don't think that DDM was expecting that that shot on Jin to do as much damage as it did. Valpo is unfortunately going to get forced off of this dragon here. And that is going to kind of be a decent bit of a momentum swing for the side of Carleton.
Yeah, and this is where Valpo really needs to stop the bleeding. Game is still in control. Hasn't quite slipped out of their fingers yet, but it's starting to get to that point. So, beats are definitely in Carleton's favor. Not quite going to be claimed yet, but going to have nice Jarvan ult and no sums available for Lux, and that'll be a nice pickup for the Syndra. Now, a win con for Valpo, in my opinion, is going to be through the Syndra. Already has quite a bit of a lead, farming at 10 CS a minute, up 2-0 now. Had that shutdown as well. Are going to see Dreadful get the 5 stacks, but with Karma in the area, not going to be able to do much. And one thing that I think Carleton's doing really well is they're playing around this top side. I really think I would like to see Valpo kind of do the same thing here. Although, I mean, it is 15 minutes in the game.
I agree. We're going to see that. We are going to see the TP is going to come off of Lux here. Going to go for a look. Going to look for potential 2v2. Is going to be able to hit both of those. Going to be relatively. Law is going to try to get out here. Karma trying to. Oh, the Law is going to attempt to sacrifice, and that Lux doing so much damage. And is going to find the Law, but is going to allow Jakimbo to get out. And since he does have the shutdown, that is going to be relatively big for him. I'm going to be taking a lot of damage from this Jin here. He's going to spell shield that W to prevent the stun, but is also going to be kind of forced out. Dreadful taking a lot of damage here. Don't know.
No, it'll be fine.
He'll be fine. It's Dreadful.
Yeah, Dreadful was able to get ahead with that first blood. I just feel like since then Carleton kind of responded by, okay, let's, manage this Darius before he becomes a problem, where I would have liked to see Valpo kind of commit to going for it, but we do see a nice play there by Super Bear and Dreadful, and Dreadful is now going to be 2-2, so that's going to help him out quite a bit in lane. As we will take a look at the gold breakdown by the players here, as I believe Darius has not quite evened it up yet, just those plates, and up a bit of CS, but should even it up with this wave push. Taking a look at the jungle, Valpo down just a bit, up big, relatively, pretty big. I'd say 400 is pretty big in the mid lane, and then down quite a lot in the bot lane and support.
Valpo needing to take this, I guess, this opportunity. Ooh, big damage on Lux here. Gonna be dropped to around 60%. One more good combo by Syndra. Will spell the end of Lux's life. Does look like that they. Oh,
that should do it. No W is gonna save you from that, and Jakimbo starting to do a lot of damage.
We are gonna see though that Zarelda's is gonna get activated. Oh. And Zin's gonna get.
Zin gets caught.
Zin's caught here. Not gonna be able to do much. Trying to determine who to give that kill to, and it's gonna go to Jakimbo. Gonna go 4-0. Someone needs to be able to respond to that Bessa. Otherwise, you are losing that top tier. You are losing that top tier one.
Oh, it's Hexgate Soul.
Also,
Hexsec.
Hexsec Dragon. Darn, we both were wrong on our prediction. I would like to point out that there is still that flower that is on top of Valpo's tier 1 that has not been grabbed for the past 4 minutes, and it's driving me a little crazy. I'm sorry, Valpo fans, I have to say it.
And Carleton has been making a series of mistakes here. We'll see if Valpo's able to find one here. Oh, with that Ambessa ult, that's going to be scary. Able to find it, though.
And the Ambessa ult actually beat exactly what she didn't need to do there, I believe.
Ill-advised. So Carleton is starting to, it felt like the game was starting to slip away from Valpo, and Carleton, giving some gifts back to Valpo for sure. Lux was playing a bit too far up in the mid lane. Zin was, counter jungling without vision, didn't know where the team was, and then we see Mbessa kind of ult him back in there. And Valpo's taking advantage. They should have the gold lead after this kill on the
Oh!
Once again, that's just another member called out. Sivir with the ultimate and Syndra with the boots of swiftness. They're going to catch that Jhin no matter what. Well, I guess he has boots of swiftness, but I mean, I guess if you flash forward. So, but Valpo back in the lead. Up a draw. What are they up? They're not back in the lead.
Up a tower. Up a tower.
Up a tower. Yep.
And also Rift Herald
Feats are
wasn't
over.
taped too.
Feats did get claimed by Carleton. As expected, they were kind of well on their way in that regard. But this dragon's going to be up in 10 seconds, and Valpo going to have 5 members here, going to be in great position to take this dragon. And if I'm Carleton here, I think you just got to give it. But we do have Dreadful working his way to the Lux. They will end up kind of just backing off and going for this dragon.
And
Yeah, Valpo looking good.
And it does look like the Dreadful is going to respond to that top side. Valpo does need to be careful though, as with Dreadful having Ghost Flash, that does mean that that teleport and Darius is not going to be able to get there. Valpo needing to burst this dragon down. Lux, surprised we're not going to see a Lux ultimate onto the dragon just to kind of gain some more information. Oh, Jhin was going to try to do. Oh, Jakimbo just catching.
Can't walk up.
Jakimbo catching the Jhin. We are
so huge now.
Yeah, Jakimbo running this game now, fully stacked Darksteel, gonna be the end of that bottom tier 1. It does look like that is gonna probably, and we are gonna see Super is going to pop the Rift Herald, try to look to maybe crack, at least to do some damage towards that tier 2. And I think that is exactly what we're gonna see here. Directed cam is gonna now bring us towards that, gonna do huge damage, gonna get caught, but before the root is gonna be able to send his flag concession, just do a really good bit of damage to that bottom tier 2. As we do see that Otacon is available, I do believe that this is Flower Otacon instead of False Life. I'm going to be really interesting to see, because that is going to be a huge pendulum swing, but Valpo is up around 1,300 gold right now, so you love to see it if you're a Valpo fan.
They're doing great. Syndra almost having the full Rabadons completed. Once they get that 3 items, they pretty much run the game, and you cannot be with. See Lux right now kind of flirting with the idea of being on the same screen as Syndra, and that is something she doesn't want to do.
And we're going to see that Syndra is just going to collect this wave again. Jakimbo, I think, realizing that he could have pushed up on that, but again, he has a 600 gold bounty. There's no reason to be making plays that have even the potential of going wrong, especially because that's 900 gold that's going to go into a member's pocket, and especially with Lux. Lux is really strong. Lux is just a strong champion in general, and just being able to give her that much of a gold injection is going to be very scary.
That's the thing with the fog of war and just having this full camera vision. But we're gonna have to stop now. We do see a Jarvan ult, gonna find the Jhin, and that'll do it. I'm able to pick up that one, and that's just gonna be a free 1 for nothing. We have Mbessa pushing bot, so Valpo gonna work up to this Otacon, and they're actually gonna stun up this Zinzao with the ult, gonna have a lot more durability. We have Rel dropping quite low. Rel able to get out. Zin super tanky, but we do have Darius with the reset. Jakimbo is godlike now. And I think he still has ult up, so I mean, could actually find a kill here. Oh my goodness, I think Valpo is fighting.
Valpo fighting.
Valpo fighting. But I mean, they are in a great position in this game. I mean, and they're really just mistakes by Carleton that they've been able to exploit. They keep getting caught up 1 by 1, and they're playing against a pick comp. And Darius, once again, I don't think he has the ult reset, but it doesn't matter because Mbessa, although it has a lot of farm, is just not nearly as accelerated as Darius. And with the Otacon, I mean, really great position. It's too early to say anything too crazy, but if Valpo loses this game, it's going to come from a series of mistakes.
Unfortunate series of unfortunate events.
game is over.
Valpo just needs to close it out. Valpo needs to close it out.
If we lose this game, I don't want to, hopefully I don't regret saying this. If we lose this game, this is Valpo's game to lose, like, by far and away. So if we lose this game, it is Valpo making a series of mistakes to where if they made those mistakes, they... Yeah. Anyways, I mean, in a really great position in this game of 16-6. We do see Mbessa going in, and looks like Carleton is kind of fighting for the game now, and Rel able to pick up the double kill, and that is going to further this lead for Valpo.
We do see that Hextech Dragon is up in 28 seconds. Does look like Super Bear's back is going to get delayed, which is probably not what you want to see here. Just because, again, trying to get... And Super Bear's back is going to get stopped once again. Relatively unfortunate.
Caught in the shop here.
Or maybe it was a bait. It was a bait. It was a bait all along.
Brand. No way. That is... Oh my goodness.
It was a bait all along.
I can't believe that killed.
A master play by Super Bear there. What we thought was maybe a tiny bit of trolling turned out to be a masterclass in jungle action. Showing at least me in the booth why Valpo will always have a second reason for the things that they're doing under their sleeves. Dreadful is going to be farming against Mbessa here. Not going to be able to fully break that tower. Even though the law is here. I'm just trying to get a little bit more, and that is soul point for Valpo, specifically Hextech, giving that extra ability haste and that attack speed going to be big for every single member of the team.
So Valpo up 6k gold now. Gold bounties will be online for Carleton. Path to victory for Carleton is really, really difficult here, just because they don't scale nearly as well as Valpo does, and there's not really I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe just group up in a bush and hope they face check it. For Carleton to win this game, what do you think they need to do?
We're gonna need to see a really, I think it's what you said, a really big pick, or Valpo played extremely Valpo played very...
They got to find a pick or like a severe overextension.
Or both. I think you're at this point where you got to do both. Oh, and you are going to see that stun is going to go off on the Jhin. Mbessa not going to be able to find anything with that ultimate.
This could do
Dreadful going to be here with that flash, finding 2 members. Super Bear going to do a lot of damage. Going to be able to kill that Lux before she's able to ultimate, doing a lot, preventing that damage. Dreadful doing a lot. Dreadful having that ultimate is going to find that double kill. 3 members on that Xin Xiao going to do huge damage and an absolutely masterful class of a cleanup. 4 for 0. We're going to see that the Law does pop the ultimate to give that movement speed boost.
Yeah, and this, they're not going for the Baron. This could very well be the game right now. And with that ult and the ace, I think that's going to be game.
Yeah, the next member isn't up until 10 seconds. Law needing to be careful there, as that turret is still going to do a lot. But even then, just the Jhin alone, we've seen that the Jikimba is able to deal with that and then some. We're going to continue just to see these towers being pushed, because just as I want to say for both sides that anything can happen.
Oh, no, it's GG.
And we're going to see a little bit more, kill potential. Law is going to fall, but it's not going to matter, as Valpo's going to bring us into the game 3, 1-1 Valpo versus Carleton.
Game 3, man, oh man, what an exciting game. We are, I believe, because we're on delay, I heard the invite come through. So we are going to be back with Game 3 of Valpo vs. Carleton, NECC Quarterfinals. So I'll be right back. we are back with Game 3 of Valpo versus Carleton University in NECC quarterfinals. So heading to Game 3, Carleton was able to pick up Game 1, and Valpo strikes back with Game 2. So very exciting series, going to be running into the late hours of the night, but happy to do so because this is playoffs time. Really, really excited. Love this Jarvan pickup, and actually going to be going for a more aggressive pick in the bot lane. Going to be picking up that Kaisa and Blitzcrank. Going to see a lot more scaling potential from Carleton here. Going to have the Corki and the Karthus and the Ornn. Oh my goodness, they're going for a full scaling comp, and they also, of note, banned the Syndra. So I believe they left open not the Talia. And Adam is now joining the spec. Who was the third band that Carleton had originally?
Blitzcrank.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
Oh, wow. This is a little bit of a weird draft.
Yeah, so Carleton, I mean, they are putting all their chips on the table for this late game. And they interesting strategy here because Valpo typically likes to err on the side of those later games, but Valpo is now going to have to um, take over the game in the mid game. So, and I mean, they have the ability to do it currently with their team comp, especially because Carleton's going to be slightly behind here. Um, then opted to take red side. They're going to have that counter pick top again. They did not like that top lane matchup. And Dreadful outranked a bit in this top lane matchup, but has been absolutely dominant. Has found both first bloods with the solo bolo. So we'll see if they can do it again. Are going to ban that Ezreal. They don't want any more scaling than they already have. I'm going to see the Alistair support. Going to provide some nice tankiness in front line. What would you like to see from Valpo here?
Ooh, I mean, I think we're gonna need to see some more forms of true damage, especially against the Alley and the Ornn. Um,
I want to see Aurora Darius. Those are my picks.
throw now. Can we see some? Ooh, let's see
Okay, that's interesting.
let's see that Victor. Um, set.
Okay, just taking their damage or their health and using it against them. Set does do pretty darn well into Ornn. So does Aatrox.
Which
Aatrox a mid game warrior. Victor a bit more towards that late game for sure.
gonna be
This is scary because Valpo really just needs to dominate this early game, and that is not what they are known for.
Valpo not what they're known for, but Valpo have been continuing to show at times that they know, or that they're not afraid to show. They're not afraid to show me, not afraid to show us in the booth. Some things that are a little unorthodox, but that usually work. We are gonna see though that we're gonna see
Ari,
the Ari.
Ari gonna get her first presence in this series. Yeah, I mean Valpo, they just got to be proactive, be aggressive with these plays because if this game goes late, it is not going to be winnable. Um, so yeah, I mean, very interesting draft. Carleton kind of completely switching it up here. Although switching it up is not necessarily ideal in game 3. Typically, want to see teams kind of go back to their roots, favor those comfortability champs. But we got ourselves quite a game in store for us because we're in playoffs now, and this is a 8-1 seed matchup, and Valpo putting their back, the other team's back against the wall here. So we are going to head to a short break for spectator delay, but stay tuned because we'll be right back with Game 3. And we are back, ladies, gentlemen, and enemies, for our start of Game 3 of Valpo versus Carleton University. NECC quarterfinals, and we got a Blitzcrank on the map, which means we are due for some chaos level 1. Valpo kind of just walking forward. No one's seen each other yet. We do have a ward placed on that blue side. We'll see where Valpo ends up walking. We do have a 5-stack. Super careful with that Alistair or knockup.
You can't milk those. You can't milk those. You can't milk those.
Alistair emoting a little bit.
Nothing
And
else.
kind of disappointed. I was really hoping Valpo would go for some level 1 shenanigans, but didn't do so. But that's fine. Taking a look at summoner spells, identical across the board, and Cartha is actually going for flash and not exhaust. Typically do see that exhaust on Karthus. Also has that Dark Harvest, which once again don't actually not. Conquer from Corky, standard, but also notable. Yeah, so everything pretty standard across the board. Doran's items do have the tier from Corky, so I mean, once again, going to be very weak in the early game. Have both junglers starting the top side, going to be playing for that bottom side. Not too much kill pressure in the top lane for this first jungle clear, so really going to be focused on that bot lane for both teams. Valpo really needs to get a strong start in that bot lane. That is something they've struggled with so far in this series, and primarily due to just the matchups they've had, but this is one where Valpo needs to be aggressive. They need to create plays and build an advantage because they're going to need it.
Dreadful trying to get some more attacks in. Not going to be able to do too much. Is going to hit that level 2. Is going to hit level 2 first. And again, we do see that Valpo does have the push in the bot wave. Would like to be able to see a good Blitzcrank. See a good Blitzcrank hook would do wonders. But it does look like, again, just going to play a little bit safe. Valpo trying to, I guess, look for some sort of opening here. And Valpo won't hit level... Valpo, I don't believe you hit level 3 off of this wave. I believe it's one more.
I will say one thing about this bot lane is you gotta go. Alistair, you're not gonna have any kill prio on. I have a bit of a trade going back and forth. The set is gonna have Conquer. So theoretically should win those longer trades, but Warren doing pretty well with that grasp as well. Back into Valpo. Hopefully we'll be able to get freeze off. Oh, and he stops the thing. Oh, and he gets the flash W. What a great reaction time there by Dreadful. And that is the third solo bolo in this game. Absolutely decimating this master tier player. Oh, we see Karthus here. Knockup. Does get the slow. J4 going to be here for the counter gank. Oh, and they don't fall for it. But oh, he just flashed out of range of the hook. And Alistair does not have... Oh, he does have X Flash. Okay. Both of them have X Flash, so the flashes weren't as like great. But Valpo with another great start in the top lane.
Oh, Alistar here gonna be out of position. Blitz not gonna. Blitz, I don't know if determined if he wants to find something or not. Jakimbo is gonna take a decent bit of damage here. Hearing some pings go off. Ooh,
Oh, I love this.
Super doing some damage to Karth. That's gonna slow down that clear a little bit.
He's gonna get the double scuttle with that bit of chip damage. But what I really want to see, I mean, we've already kind of passed probably like a majority of the chance to, but I would really like to see Super play aggressive against this Karthus early in the game. Karthus essentially can't do anything, and Jarvan's pretty darn strong in his what's the scuffle ability. What's that word? Skirmish.
Skirmish.
Yep. Very strong skirmisher in the early game. Wave's going to be bouncing back towards Valpo here in the bot lane.
Ooh.
Alistair going to find a nice knockup and some good damage.
They're not gonna. They're not gonna find this kill here. And with that, I do. Valpo still has that strong matchup, but just needs to respect.
They are up CS. It's even right now, but this wave's pushing in, so they're going to be up about 5 CS right now.
And Karthus is clearing. Is unfortunately going to take that turret hit. Kind of unfortunate for Dreadful there. The Law really trying to hope that the Corki is going to push up and be past where a minion is just to get some more, just to get some damage, but not going to be able to find much. We're going to see that set is going to back.
We are farming better. We're up CS in every lane right now. Dude jungle. That's whatever. He got the solo bolo. Yeah, good start. Just need to keep building on it. Do have Grubs and Dragon come up, or live right now. They're up. So this is really the time where this game can get shaken up a bit. And I would like to. I like this from Valpo. I think they should play for the 6 Grubs, where it looks like Carleton is focusing on the Dragon. So the 6 Grubs is just going to give them more tower taking abilities and really snowball this game. Dragon is really kind of just playing for that late game, and Valpo shouldn't be too concerned about it until kind of that soul point area, and they should have the ability to take these Grubs. It's going to be big this next round of objectives to secure that 6 Grubs. But like I said, I mean, completely fine and dandy given this drag for the Grubs.
And something also interesting is Orn's been pushed under the tower so much that he's currently still burning time on that second ward. Jakimbo needing to be careful here as Alistar is nearby and is going to probably look to do something with that Hex Flash. I think as soon as Jakimbo sees... Oh! So kind of surprised we didn't see the tower aggro onto Alistar, but this also does mean that a lot of more resources are just going to be able to go to the side of DM. Super in the jungle here. Actually be able to find the Karthus. Karthus does have flash, is going to use it. We are going to see the ultimate does come off from Super Bear here, and is going to be a solo bolo 1-for-1.
That's exactly what I wanted to see. Karthus not going to have 6 yet, so no fear of the Requiem. And you did see Dreadful also having that top prio working his way down to help out his jungler. Love that play. Do have Ari roaming down here. Carleton looking for a play, but Valpo able to get out. And this is the start you need with this team composition for Valpo, and they're getting it so far.
Valpo needing to play excellent like this, both in terms of their own plays and in terms of punishing the enemy team. We're going to see that Jakimbo is able to take that, able to push that wave in, and then also back. So that's going to make him net positive. The Law is going to take a lot of damage here, needing to be careful. Diadem also going to take a lot here. You kind of did lose out on that trade a pretty significant margin here. But again, Kaisa, I think Diadem trying to stay in lane until he'll have enough gold for item on his back. And I was going to say you don't go... Is it Yantals? What's usually the first item that Kaisa goes?
I don't know what he's called. I just know what it looks like. I know like the stats and stuff. But we do see an Ornn ult. Gonna have to flash that one. Ornn does have flash available. If you remember, they did have the same flash timer. Valpo going to be up 2-0 kills, tied up 1-1 of the objectives, and I think tower-wise are winning in the top lane and the bot lane. Haven't seen too much action in the mid lane. Probably not much turret damage on either side. But as far as feats go, Valpo in position right now to secure the feats, although just a slight advantage, I would say.
Oh, and Alistar is going to get caught out.
Yeah, he's caught.
He does have flash, but we are going to see that Diadem is going to commit, and I believe that kill did go to Jakimbo. But that feat of warfare being the bigger, honestly, probably the bigger thing there. We've been seeing it. I think it's gone to Valpo, I think, twice now in this best of 3 series. But just giving that pressure is huge.
If it did game 1?
I don't think No, we didn't get it in game 2.
I know we didn't, yeah.
I thought we got it in game 1.
We certainly must. Like, we certainly could have. I don't remember. That was a while ago. 3 hours ago.
Yeah, a little over, almost 2 hours ago. But we are going to see that set is going to back. We are going to see that Void Crypts are
going to miss out on a wave here.
Not necessarily ideal, but I think that he wants to be more prepared for Void Grubs, which, if that's the case...
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you.
That's a good place
that
to
Warden's Mail is making these trades set just with all that armor. But like you said, Valpo prepping for these Void Grubs. I would like to see Valpo send support up, but they do know that Alistair is here, so they're not too worried about it. They know they'll have the 3v3. Valpo should be favored in this 3v3. But I would like to see Valpo, you know, send their bot lane up to mid lane, you know, lose a couple plates, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. As long as they have vision on where Alistair is, it's fine.
And it does look like that. It's just going to be a lot of conversation. We're going to see the Hex Flash does come off again by the Alistar. Ooh, that catch
This could
does.
be big.
Catch is going to do a decent bit. Ooh, we're going to see the Alistar ultimate come. We're going to see the Alistar ultimate be used to try to tank that tower damage. Karthus does look like trying to get some poke.
He's trying to steal one, I think.
But and it does not look like he was able to steal one. Oh, and we are going to see a decent bit of a fight go off. Set ultimate, maybe not going the way you want to. Ooh, and that ultimate by Super Bear going to be enough to pin him down. Jakimbo going to get that other kill, going to get more gold injected. We are going to see probably at least a plating be traded, just because Jakimbo does not have flat or does not have TP up. But overall, huge win on terms of Valpo. That is going to be your 2 out of the 3 out of the way towards the feat of objectives. And with Dragon being up, Valpo is in a position here, I believe. You don't have bot lane prio, but you're going to have mid wave.
Okay, we see the Cloud Drake now. Gotta make our guesses. Can't be Cloud, it can't be Infernal.
Ocean. That's mine.
Ocean. I am going to say Hextech again.
Hextech. It does look like that Valpo is going to. It does look like that DNM and Law are going to reset Kraken Slayer onto Kaisa, but that first item is going to be huge. Just gonna again just give him more damage, and that slightly magical footwear is done as well. That extra movement speed going to be huge in terms of kiting. Dreadful doing some damage here.
You see Carleton towards this drag. Super Bear going to find the engage on Ari, going to get charmed back a bit of damage. He does have ult, does not have ult available. So that's why we didn't see the ult rip there. Hook's going to be down as well, so a lot of cooldowns. Looks like Valpo is erring on the side of giving here. Kimbo is working his way down there. Alistair going to go in with the ult. Going to have a tough time getting over here. We'll see if Carleton, looks like they're not going to commit. They did have the potential to if they wanted. Oh, and a great hook going to find the Carstens with the silence. Not going to be able to flash away. Ari looking for the charm. That's going to be a double kill for the Kaisa, and we have 4 members of Valpo with shutdown. So they lose the dragon, but I would argue, I mean, that's a favorable trade for Valpo there, and they're able to pick up a couple plates mid because of it too. Kaisa with flash and ult available, shouldn't be too worried about that.
But a huge injection of gold into the side of Diana, which is what you need to see here. We're actually going to take a quick look at the gold distribution in this third game here. We're going to see that Dreadful's kills are going to be what's going to be able to be just around 100 gold for basically gold even. Ornn trying to keep up his best with that CS. The jungle, you're up about 1,000. Again, you're right. Karthus not being able to fully play the game. Mid, you're up about 1,000. And that double kill onto Kaisa now being up about 500. And even the Law being up 200. Absolutely huge to see that all sides are up. We are going to see some gold is going to get traded towards the side of Carleton here with a lot of damage onto that mid lane turret. Or that bot lane turret, my apologies. But plating's going to expire soon. Or it already has expired.
And with no first turret and no third objective, still are waiting on those feats. So this next objective, not going to be for 2 minutes. So I believe a first turret will be likely what we see first. And see, Law is able to zone out. Is going to find that hook. We do have Super Bear working his way down here. And this Requiem is going to be scary. Okay, it's actually not, because Karthus is just level 1 ult and doesn't have...
Super, I'm maybe gonna try to look for a dive. Again, dive is a risky play here. Valpo's not in a position where we need to make risky plays in order to win.
Yeah, the only scary thing about the dive is it's here now. Okay, they're gonna call it off. I was gonna say, like you said, risky plays. I mean, could turn catastrophic, especially with the Alistar, just so much CC and it's a bit scary.
But we are going to see that Jakimbo is going to look like to try to do a little bit more damage here. Super Bear trying to look, I think, on the Ari here. Oh, Ari is going to throw down the ultimate. A lot of damage going to go onto the side of Jakimbo. Jakimbo not going to fall, though. Dreadful going to take a lot of damage from that Orn W. But Jakimbo will end up backing up, and that is going to be a lot of turret damage from Diadem here. Not going to be enough to break the turret by any means, but going from full to half health is really good to see here.
Yeah, man. Oh, he goes for the flash. Oh, and a bit of an overreach by Briz there from Carleton, and that is going to lead to another kill. Not sure who actually picked that one up. Another kill for Valpo, nonetheless. Karthus goes down, but we are going to get some first kills traded back. Oh my goodness, what a Kaisa ult. And Blitzcrank's able to get out as well. And with this TP, Valpo's going to live.
And Valpo might actually be looking for a counter engage.
No chance.
If you're Jakimbo,
I forgot we have Jakimbo. Oh my goodness, and he doesn't have ult.
He doesn't have ultimate. Did have to use that ultimate against the Ari. Oh, that's going to be a big amount of damage onto Diadem. Diadem going to have to commit both, and a little over aggressive. Oh, but we do have the TP double. We have the double TP come in. Ari versus Dreadful here. That Dreadful all going to be huge. Going to have his W available for full shield. Going to do an enormous amount of damage to that Corgi. And a lot of damage. And not going to be able to find the Ari. It's going to be a chase.
Able to find it. And Valpo is up 5k gold.
Valpo's on the run, and the Law's going to find the poke, and that's going to be another double kill. That's going to be 2 double kills onto Jakimbo. And with objective being grabbed by Super Bear, that is going to be feats for Valpo here. Up 5,200 gold. Bottom tier 1 turret broken by Dreadful. Mid tier 1 turret on its last legs. Orn might get that top tier 1, but that's a small price to pay for the amount of lead that Valpo was able to get from this. Absolutely amazing coordination and teamwork by the side of Valpo.
I cannot believe it. No, it is March Madness time. A little Cinderella run action. We have the 8th seed up 5k gold against the number 1 seed in this NECC playoffs.
We're gonna see that Ripchild is gonna
be first turret.
Yep.
I mean, this might be. We're gonna see if I break out here, so I can't talk right now. But we're gonna have Alistar go down even with the ult available, and Kaisa gonna pick that one up. And we do have Super Bear waiting in the area. A free dragon for Valpo.
I was gonna say it's absolutely huge for Valpo's, and you got rid of the Alistar. Alistar didn't even have a chance to ultimate, and so your big damage sponge is kind of gone. You have Orn, but Orn moving up to the top side, and Carlton is just allowing Valpo to get this dragon for free. They don't care too much about it, and they can't afford to waste any more resources. And they're gonna grab the Gromp. I don't know if they're gonna be able to kill it.
I think they were going for the Ari, but they do get it.
They do get it.
Get the Gromp.
-4 creep score to Karthus.
Yeah, that third dragon was big for them to secure, as it prevents any soul in the near future for Carleton. Now, next step in this game, Valpo has the lead. Now they need to be proactive, create these plays, and start to slowly suffocate Carleton. Have that mid-tier 1, they need to start working on the rest of these turrets, picking them up one by one, and they need to start to take ownership of Carleton's jungle here, get some deep vision, not allow Karthus to get back in this game. So they kind of just need to slowly get that kind of chokehold on the opponent, start negating some of those sources of income. For Carleton, you just need to turtle. You just need to turtle as long as you can.
Turtle and give Orn as much XP as you possibly can, but the gold is what's actually mattering right now, and not having any gold is gonna not be ideal if you're a Carleton fan. Oh, we are gonna see that W is gonna hit Lawn. You need to be careful there as it is a 3v2.
Carleton at this moment needs to give anything and everything until 40 minutes and hope that the game doesn't end before then. If they get to 4 minutes, the reason why this game is still winnable right now is because they have Orn, Karthus, Gorky. Like any other team comp, this game should be over. But with Otacon up, Valpo should be setting their sights towards that objective. See Carleton picking up some vision, looking for picks. I mean, they're playing the right way now. This game has started to slow down a bit.
And Valpo needs to kind of create this idea of pressure.
Okay.
Oh,
Got the
and
hook.
he's
Ari
going to grab
does
the
have
Ari.
flash.
We're going to see a lot of resources be committed here. The Law is unfortunately going to fall. DNM doing a lot of damage here. Is going to be able to find the pick onto the Alistar. Ornn is going to get that one knockabout. Dreadful, but Dreadful with the W into the ultimate. Going to do huge damage. Is going to fall, but that is going to come at the cost of 2. That is going to come 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 3 to 2. And I
don't think they'll be able to get Otacon off that, but they should be able to pick up top tier 1, I don't think. But a lot of ults, a lot of spells used there. A couple shutdowns picked up, I believe. Not sure who had shutdowns, but they're going to start this Otacon. And the very scary thing about this, well, one, they're on vision. But it does so much damage that this could be a coin flip. Now this is scary, but luckily they're melting it. Okay, this was the correct pull from Valpo. They need to get these flowers and get out of there. Oh, never mind.
It's false life.
They need to reset. They need to reset. Oh, I'm terrified.
Take
They
this
pick up
fight.
the
Take
Ari.
this
Get
fight on
out,
the Ari.
Get out. They get the objective. Get out. Oh, you know what? They do have the false life. So,
But you're still giving resources away, and you don't.
you shouldn't just die to die. Where before with the false life, you definitely could. Adam is upset that they neglected
There was
flower.
another flower. That was nearly missed. Jakimbo heard my plight
If anyone is looking to win over Adam, flowers is the way to his heart.
It's
At
free.
least in League of Legends.
Oh, Jakimbo needing to be careful here. Law is going to be able to grab
Oh,
the Corgi.
how
The
did he
Law
live?
going crazy over here. Absolutely insane hooks. Jakimbo just does need to back though. Just take the back. Karthus does not have Requiem, so no danger of die, which is genuinely something that whenever I see a Karthus, my Karthus will hold the ultimate until basically he can guarantee that kill. And so a little bit of, again, another misplay. Jakimbo knowing that he can go full in, and if it doesn't matter if he survives at 1 HP, just because of the Karthus has no ability haste.
Dragon in 30 seconds. So Valpo is gonna reset. Could you check for me if we're gonna have that false life?
Let me look. Maybe. Or yes, we should. No, it'll expire within like about 5 seconds after. So
Okay,
Valpo
so
will have to
probably
be
not.
careful. And actually, while I'm looking, we're gonna take a quick look at flowers. Never mind, we're not, because we're just gonna be a potential engage here. 3v4 coming off. Ooh, another great hook. Ari gonna take a lot of damage. Ari not going to fall though.
It should be the Dragon for Valpo though.
But that should be a free dragon. I am gonna look real quick.
We have had Ornn kind of split pushing almost, has been able to pick up some towers and get a lot of solo XP, so something to keep of note. I believe he is level 15 now. So does have his own item and is gonna have an upgrade.
He has 2 upgrades available, but yet has yet to give them out to anyone. A little interesting to see here. But taking a quick look at flowers, because I've been mentioning it all 3 games so far. Valpo's at 12 and Carleton is at 19.
That does seem abnormally low, I will say.
Both teams have been grabbing them. Gonna be
it was Mountain. We
Yes.
completely
Oh
forgot.
wait, or
big
got to be
fight.
careful there. A little bit overzealous by Valpo. Valpo
Cut their
needs
losses. Yeah, I think you cut your losses here. Just get out.
a good pick, but I don't know how much of a shutdown Blitzcrank had.
He didn't have one.
No, if you want to see a member of the fall, it was not. It was one of the ones you wanted to in terms of gold. We obviously don't like any members of Valpo dying, but you know, have the ones that fall be the ones that don't have bounties, please. But this double mountain soul is at, or this double mountain drag actually going to be doing a pretty decent bit in terms of giving Valpo a little bit of extra survivability. They are looking
Want
like
to
they
keep
are.
this tier 1? That's fine. Baron is going to be up in 15 seconds. Next objective available, and then soul point for either team going to be in about 4 minutes here. So this game is approaching 25 minutes, and my heart rate is approaching 25,000 as well.
Same
And
here in
this-
the booth. This has been
yeah.
this so far. Or not. You know what? We're gonna continue. We're gonna continue on. We're gonna see that Valpo is going to be gaining vision on this side. Looks like Diadem was able to find the Karthus with that W there. Unfortunately, it does look like that they're not gonna, that Valpo's not gonna be able to fully stack a bush here. We are gonna see the TP does come out from Ornn. Valpo needing to be careful here.
Oh, big commit on that hook, and he's able to find it. Karthus down early. Got to be careful in that passive, though.
It's gonna be a
J4's
1-for-1.
get
It's gonna be a
caught up.
1-for-1 trade.
Set only able to find the All-Star, is able to find that Flash W, and the ult is able to get the damage through, but does go down. Diadem's going to go down as well, most likely. So far, 3 for 2 for Carleton. Kimbo is there, does have to use the Flash there.
Needing
Getting it stunned up. Still has ult available for both of these members of Valpo. Fortunately, not going to be able to get that shield off. And that's going to be... not a kill. Oh, he's going to find the hook. We'll see if he gets this kill.
Menace.
Okay.
Menace.
Law able to find the double kill. That is very bad for Valpo. Very bad. Had shutdowns on Jakimbo go over and Super Bear go over.
Built to Ari?
Ari or Corby. But we have those Ornn items going through. This Ornn is level 16. This is the point in the game where Carleton is becoming strong. So that not an ideal fight for Valpo there. And now have a healthy amount of concern.
Valpo needs to make sure that they keep up their coordination here. Oh, that's why. We see that Dreadful is going to have Hullbreaker.
Oh. Okay, so now he's going to match the Ornn. I mean, there are a lot of turrets to pick up in this sideline still. Have both tiers.
Gonna find that W onto
We'll say Hullbreaker isn't as bad grouping with the team as it used to be now.
yeah, I
That's
was
nice.
before it used to just be
I
basic.
really want to see Valpo force a bear, and
Oh wait,
they do have the vision.
Bush Warrior. Oh.
They should have took it. Okay,
Oh, and he
should
is
go
still
now.
gonna take it here. We're gonna see the Flash. Flash does come out. That's still gonna be a positive there. Super
Gonna have
Bear.
to back. They should start. Yeah, okay, they're gonna start. So Ari is in the bot lane, is having TP available. TP comes down. Karthus is back now.
Ornn does have ultimate. Ornn is gonna use it here. Is gonna find 2 members. Ari gonna find the Law. The Law is going to get found. A lot of damage. Oh, Dieta melting, but not gonna be able to fully find the Ari. Dreadful in there doing a lot of damage. Not gonna be able to also find anyone themselves. Valpo needs to find these picks and continue to get them. Otherwise, it doesn't mean much. And we are going to see that, unfortunately, that we're going to see that these members of Carleton are going to survive with just the slivers of HP, which is not what you want to see here. And with this being a kind of 2v3, Valpo might have to give up this dragon.
And we don't have any upgraded boots from Valpo, so hopefully we'll pick those up soon. I mean, Valpo, I think target focusing is big there. That needs to happen. J4 will go down here, and Valpo's starting to slip. So gold only up 1k now, and with those Ornn items, I mean, oh,
Goldly could be said just about even.
the momentum has shifted for sure.
Valpo needs to take a breath and get a good pick or two, and then the problem is if Valpo in a full team fight just is not. It just is a lot harder for Valpo to be in a full team fight because of that Ornn. That Ornn's been able to do such a good job of spacing Valpo and kind of just forcing a lot of additional problems that are not relatively easy to solve. W is gonna find Ari, gonna chunk her out a tiny bit, that one hit the Corgi, gonna do again a little bit of damage, not too much though.
Posturing around this Baron once again. And I believe that is all Ornn items.
All Master items are online.
Karthus still at 2 items.
Karth is not having a fun game in terms of gold.
Beats Boots like not as worth it anymore. I know they're not as good, but like
I don't know.
we have 3 people building past them like into their.
I would assume even just the extra movement alone is very nice, but again, they're.
Hey, that's why we're in the booth and not on the Rift.
Yep. We're here giving you riveting action. And seeing it does look like that there is going to be a potential Baron play by Carleton here.
We have both top laners in the bot lane with TP available. Arthas is level 15. We have a lot of close to 16 members across the board.
Carleton's going to be fighting around this ward here, so we're going to grab this plant.
I just kind of running out of words to say here. I mean, this is just kind of do or die, this next team fight for Valpo. A lot of timidness from both teams. You know, they know how important this next fight is going to be. They want to make sure they get what they want.
We need this. If the law needs it, if we see another great grab like we've been seeing from the law so far, I think that alone could be spelling the end of these fights.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need Ari, Corki. Ari or Corki would be ideal. I mean, the Karthus would be nice to hook, but isn't like the biggest threat. And also, if you do hook him, he dies on top of your team, which he's still able to be effective, if not more effective, if he dies on top of your team.
Yeah, because he's just free damage that you just have to dodge. And he does have Requiem available, so as soon as he dies, he can just do damage to the entire enemy team. We do see the Ari backing, or at least attempting the back. Oh, no. Ooh, the law should be trying to grab the Karthus here. And he does! This is a big play. Super going to do a huge amount of damage. All right, walk away. Walk away from the Karthus. Karthus can't do anything. Oh, we're going to see the TP come out by Dreadful, too. It's going to be a 4v5. If Valpo plays this effectively.
Force to start drag. They're going to have the flag and drag in. Does get denied by the Alistar.
Oh.
Cornell going to hit 3.
But the law is going to. Oh!
Huge J4 ultimate. That's going to find 3 people. That's going to be a shutdown on Ari. Able to live there.
Law is going to fall.
A 5 for 1. And they can pick up Baron here as well as Dragon will be up in a minute. Okay, they going for an end? They need to be decisive here. Okay, they're going for Baron.
Good choice, good choice, good choice.
And they can't end. Because Karthus is up pretty much now.
Karthus
will have Requiem available. It's not level 16. We'll see how much damage this does. Okay, they should still be able to Baron.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be fine.
Well, Dreadful is going to decide to walk off of it.
I mean, he has to. So we'll have Smite here. Okay.
Unfortunately, not able to give it to Diadem or the Law.
And we're going to be right back at it because Dragon is up in 25 seconds. And Valpo cannot give this one.
This is so point.
Carleton's going to have positioning here. We'll say Jakimbo is 10-1. That's 4 completed items now. And we see Carleton getting all the vision control they ever want. And going to have that positional advantage with the kind of pick comp, with that Alistar Ari. Valpo is going to take mid-prow. Love that from Valpo. It's going to be tough to get in here. The Ornn frontline. Ornn having ult available again. You'll see it popped.
Is going to just find Super Bear here. They do not have their ADC, so they need to be careful. It's going to probably look for more of a Baron steal, or not a Baron steal, a Dragon steal. We do see Kaisa is on her way. Probably
ult in from quite a while, quite a bit away. Oh, and
that grab is huge.
And that's going to mean no smite. Carleton's going to have to give.
Valpo should
smite. Okay, nice.
Valpo fully pushing that mid wave. Going to try to probably
have the mid-prow. They should be able to pick up a turret here.
Yeah, even with the backs, because Ari's actually not going to take the back herself, so I believe that.
Momentum has swung back. We are both on the edge of our seat here in the booth. 35 minutes into the game. Are they able to find another hook? This could be big.
Oh, Super. Oh, and that's going to be big.
Massive ult.
That's big. Valpo. Valpo going to be able to find. Diadem going to be able to find a kill. Jakimbo as well. Super Bear going to be a little bit overextended there. Super Bear probably going to fall here, but it's not going to matter as Dreadful is doing a lot of damage to these towers. Hullbreaker doing a lot of work. Valpo,
nice.
Valpo just continuing. Jakimbo on that rampage here. Orin trying to find something, but going to get stunned by the wall. And with this Nexus being broken, we are going to Valpo. League of Legends is heading to the semifinals 2-1 in this best of 3 series. Oh boy. Oh boy. Valpo did it. Valpo did it.
I am in absolute shock right now.
That was League of Legends. That
Holy
was what
moly.
Valpo is capable of. That's what a lot of these games technically should have been, but Valpo able to clutch it out. And even as the game was going a little bit towards that late game, specifically
Ooh.
what we were worried about, Valpo able to show, and the law specifically being able to get those amazing picks, let Dreadful and Jakimbo do the damage, let Super Bear be the one to peel, and let D&M do the work, as this team will be moving on to the semifinals.
Massive upset here in the League of Legends bracket, the NECC. 8 seed taking down the 1 seed, and this is what this team is capable of. They have had some series where they have underperformed this year, but I mean, they got a second chance just getting into this playoffs, and they are making the most of it. So we'll see this team next Tuesday at 7 p.m. for the semifinals, and man, what a series. I mean, I have no words, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you guys tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week for some more exciting NECC quarterfinals match. But it's been a pleasure. My name is Henry, Speedy Kill Ninja.
And I'm Adam Once here. And again, Beacons and fans, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for 2 more games of NECC and MVC action. Thank you so much.